Brought to you by Alman Auctions, the worldwide leader in antique tractor auctions.
No, there's nothing wrong with the color on your TV. You really are looking at a white John Deere. This 2240 is owned by Don Russell of Iowa. It's believed to be the only one of this model to ever leave the John Deere factory painted white.
This tractor is a little strange in that it was ordered by the city of Sanford, North Carolina back in, I believe, July of 1979. I have the paperwork on it. And my question was, why is it white? And so I called the people back at the city in Sanford and talked to a very helpful man named Randy. Randy told me that they have a city ordinance there that requires all motor vehicles be painted white. So, and I have a copy of the handwritten order where they paid an extra $300 to get this tractor painted white at the factory. I had one lady come up at the John Deere Expo in Waterloo a year ago, and she was standing there looking at it. And I said, well, what do you think? She says, I think it's ugly. And that wasn't the answer I was hoping for, but you know, everyone has their opinion, but it does attract anything that's not the right color. John Deere green and yellow is going to attract some attention.
The 2240 stayed in production for 7 years. It featured a John Deere 3-cylinder engine with a 179 cubic inch displacement and an 8-forward speed transmission. Its narrow tread, low height, and maneuverability made the tractor perfect for light field work.
I call it a good old man's tractor. You can get on and off real easy, and as opposed to a high crop, that would be a little more difficult to get on and off of as we get a little older. It's just a nice size, nice running, very desirable little tractor, and 50 horsepower. If you wanted to work it, it would do a lot of work. Matter of fact, many of them are still in use by farmers out on the farm as their utility tractor. They're just a good, handy size tractor, and many of them are still in use today. They seem to just run on and on and on.
You might be surprised to learn that John Deere painted their tractors lots of things other than green and yellow. In fact, Don has a handful of odd-colored Deeres.
John Deere would paint your tractor any color you wanted it if you didn't like the green and yellow. And so we've seen several different colors other than the John Deere green and yellow. Well, I have a mint green John Deere, really a strange color, ordered by the federal government. I have what I call a tomato orange, ordered by the Kansas DOT. And I've tried to focus on some of these oddball colored tractors, and it's been fun to find them, verify them, and redo them.
As you can imagine, people often question the authenticity of Don's different colored Deeres. He's come up with a unique way to prove to people that these tractors were actually painted these colors. He makes sure the inside of the battery box goes unrestored.
Some of the other tractors of the different colors we have, we can raise the battery box, and that's kind of ends the question about the color right there. I've asked them to leave that area alone. Don't touch it. Leave the old original paint, particularly on a different color John Deere. Leave it alone. If there's decals in there, and there probably are, leave those old decals. If there's rust, leave the rust. Let's see what it was like before, and that verifies and solidifies the fact that this tractor was white. Some of the other tractors that I have were the color that they were originally.
Don has a keen eye for rare tractors and displays most of them in his museum in Carlisle. He rotates his own tractors with other collectors' makes and models.
It's all colors, and the reason it's all colors is if you were a farmall guy and you heard about my museum and it was full of John Deeres, you probably would never come. But we've got a little bit of everything in there. If you don't like a certain color, you look down the road a little bit and you'll find one you do like. And that's the idea, and it's a kind of a non-denominational museum. Small, but a lot of fun. I tell you, I love it. And we jokingly say at the museum, this is what old men do that can't play golf. And it's a tractors are a conduit for a whole new set of friendships. There are people that I have met since I got into this that I would never have met before.
Don has a passion for collecting and showing classic tractors, and he loves being able to share his fever with others.
I said here a while back, after I had a few health problems, that I'm going to start selling some tractors. And yet last week I was in Wisconsin buying another one. So, you know, you still got the fever if you're out there looking. I'll do it as long as I can. As long as I can. It's been fantastic. You know, I'm afraid that a lot of people, when they get older and retire, don't have hobbies. Maybe are somewhat bored. And not the case here. We got more to do than we can ever get done. It's been a blast.